Good morning. I want to first start off by saying thank you to KVEC for having allowed myself and my classroom to have received this grant and for the experiences that we went through with it. Uh, the kids have really benefited from having this grant, and I can't be thankful enough for having the opportunity to have purchased these digital notebooks that we've used and allowed my class to pretty much go paperless in a time where it really needed to go paperless. So I'm going to share with you kind of how it's went. I've got some videos of some of my kids that will tell you the parts of it. It'll tell you, they will explain to you how to upload and how they've used it. When we first started this grant, of course, we faced the issue of engaging the students because it was a completely new world for us. We started off with being in the classroom, a couple of years ago to all of a sudden we're at home. There's no teacher just in front of you helping to pull you in. So it was a big struggle for us, especially in math, because students already face so many obstacles. They had disabilities in math. A lot of them, sadly, had a lack of teaching because math can be such a difficult subject that sometimes a teacher will give up. Maybe sometimes even a student will give up. It's not something that's really said very often because it's not something that you really want to think about, but it happens. So what I was hoping with this digital notebook and us being separated, them at home and then me at my home, was that these kids would find a way to view this notebook not as something they had to do, but something they actually enjoyed to do. So when we started, the kids knew, they knew that even after watching my videos teaching and when they started to do their work, they knew that they still had to show me their work. Even though they could pick up a calculator and do their work, I was going to require them to send me proof of their work. Well, with this digital notebook, they didn't have to use traditional paper. They didn't have to keep up with this or keep up with that. If for some reason it didn't upload or the picture didn't take, then they had it always with them. And it made it a lot easier for them to actually upload. And it'll show you, they'll demonstrate that in a minute. So I was so beyond happy on how this worked with them because, and I'll show you the page here in a little bit with the percentage of my students who were showing no engagement, showing no proof of work, to showing it. And I'll discuss a little bit on how even the other day we had a diagnostic test and I was shocked at the levels that they were at. I didn't expect them to be the levels where they were because we hadn't been in the classroom. And it not only gave me the opportunity with them sending me their work to not just show proof of their work, but it allowed me to see where they were messing up, see where their mistakes were, and help point out them mistakes to them so that they could go back and say, oh, there's where I messed up. Here's where I need practice on. So it's been an unbelievable journey, to tell the truth. It's been very enlightening with my kids. This group was already a difficult group. They had already seen themselves, a majority of them, as someone who couldn't do math, someone who was bad at math. So this journey that we've been on really helped them to see, hey, I can do this math. Yeah, I might mess up here and I might mess up there, but I still can do it. So at the end of the day, my hope was that these kids would grow. I hoped these kids would not just grow in math, but within themselves. And I really feel as if we've accomplished that. Um, when we talked at the beginning, we talked about some of the issues that we face for engagement. Um, we seen that kids found it boring to have to just show their work. They hated the tediousness of it. Um, they hated having to take several different pictures and then try to upload those several different pictures. But what happened with this notebook was it was almost like a magic toy, to tell the truth. They would show their work in their books. They would take the pictures. It would almost automatically upload it for them. And then once they knew that their work was there, and this was something I had to have them to do, you have to make sure your work's uploaded. They would magically make it disappear with a hairdryer. Now, you may think sixth graders, no, sixth graders are still um, teacher pleasers, especially when they're in an elementary school setting. They still get amazed by little things. So when they could use a hairdryer and make their work disappear, well, they just thought that was just awesome. The notebooks also allowed me to take away some isolation that these students felt. Here they were at home by themselves. A lot of the parents cannot help with the level of math that they have to start doing in sixth grade. So they felt like they were kind of on an island by themselves, anyways. And then when they had to be at home without me there to help with them, it was really hard. So what happened was is when they would send me their work and I was able to go through it, then a lot of times when we would do one-on-one and I would pull it up and show them the mistakes that they were doing. Or I would make comments and send it back to them. So it really took that away. And when we actually got back in the classroom, I had kids telling me that they couldn't believe that they were able to communicate with me so much. They just thought they were just going to kind of be on their own. Um, so it not only took away that isolation, but it also helped with the depersonalization that they felt. They realized that through this pandemic, through this time that they were kind of cut off from the world, they had someone who was showing them that she wanted help. Now, did the digital notebook do this completely? No, but it helped tremendously because these kids were able to see that I was going through their work. I was finding any errors they were making and not just marking them. I was sharing it with them. I was making sure that they seen this is where you messed up. If you fix this, if you keep an eye, be careful when you get to this part, then it's going to benefit you in the end. Um, but now the biggest accomplishment that this digital notebook did for me was, as I spoke with the tediousness of math, students in sixth grade are like most kids. They don't like something that takes a lot of time. They want to complain. Oh my gosh, sixth graders are such complainers. But when they seen that this notebook um, was going to be used as a tool, it was going to be used for their benefit, a lot of that quit, especially when they were able to use the different colored pens and erase it. They loved being able to see that. They loved using it. So if you love something, if you like something, then you're going to use it. And these kids really stepped up when it came to showing me their work. And of course, they thought they were just showing me their work. So they was meeting a requirement I gave them. But what they didn't realize and what I knew but didn't fully realize was the impact it was going to have on their learning. Um, when we sat down to put this plan in action, each student, whether they were hybrid, virtual, or in class, was given a digital notebook with a pen and instructions on how to use it. Now, they didn't have to use the different colors if they wanted to, but they wanted to. A lot of them did. So I showed them where they could get those. provided some with some kids that couldn't get. So I tried to treat no student different than I did another. Um, Before they were given out, the students were, I maybe had 20% of my students that was actually showing their work and turning it into me, because you've always got that small group that will always do what you want, and that little group of course did. But after I gave it out and went through on how to use it, and they become more comfortable with it, I was shocked to see, like, within the first set of weeks, it went from 20% showing me their work to about 65% showing me work. And then by the end of the third week, I actually had as high as 87% of kids showing me their work using this digital notebook. So what happened was, instead of a 20% of kids that I was able to pinpoint mistakes and close the gap on some of the concepts that they were struggling with, I went from 20% to almost 87% of my kids. Now my workload increased, but I did not even begin to think to complain, because I seen these kids start to grow, start to mature, and it was honestly an unbelievable sight to see. And when they got back to the classroom, that's when it really, really opened my eyes on how much this grant helped my classroom. Um, I had achieved with nearly 90% of my class what I had feared the most about them. They were learning concepts without a calculator. They were proving it to me. They were wanting to. And that's a high percentage, especially with a group that wasn't used to this. Maybe that helped some. Maybe the fact that they had never really sat down and done this made them want to even more. But the digital notebook, without a doubt, put the fire under them. Now, when I sat down to finish this grant, to kind of wrap it all together, I wondered which would be the best way for KVEC to actually see this. And I thought, well, the kids were very hesitant at first to the video for me, because they knew that other people was going to see it. But I had two young ladies who took time out of their day. Their parents actually brought them to the school, because we were all virtual at this time. So they actually brought them down to the school for me. And I left the room. I very much believe in letting students be independent and doing it themselves. So after I kind of told them what I needed, I just left it up to them. So if it seems a little scripted, it's because these young girls were very, very nervous. So they kind of wrote their own script out and what they wanted to say. So here is a little clip of some students telling what their opinion was on the digital notebook.
So this is our opinion on the digital notebook. My opinion on the digital notebook is that it is cool how you can write and work out on your notebook. Take a picture, then you can just make it disappear with a hairdryer. And I like that I can reuse the same pages, so my opinion is I think it is cool and I like it. My opinion on the digital notebook is that I think it's very neat and fun because you're not using just regular sheet of paper and pencil. You get to use a special kind of gel pen and the paper is smooth. It motivates students to want to show their work more because the notebook writes smooth and can erase with heat. So that's our opinion on the digital notebook.
So as you can see, they kind of scripted it out some, but they are wonderful young girls. And the next one. This is them now showing us how the digital notebook, what comes with it, the parts of this digital notebook.
Okay, so this is what comes with the digital notebook inside. So here's the box. And you open it up. And it comes with the notebook and it's stuck in the back. So here's what the notebook looks like. It's just black, and then it has dotted paper in the back, and then you can also write whose it is in the front, and lined paper in the front. It's really smooth too, the paper, and it comes with 2 pens that write in it, and they come with little red things on the, and you peel those off to write with it. And here's what the writing looks like. It's really smooth when you write, so like that. And then it comes with little sticky bookmark things that you can stick in one of the pages, and it can hold your spot. So that's what it comes with, and then the little manual how to use it. So there's what it comes with. And then to erase, oh, and the pens come in different colors, so you can buy or order them online in different colors. And to erase the writing, you can use heat or like a blow dryer to. Okay, so then to erase the writing, you can use heat or a blow dryer to erase it, so you hold it close. And it will mostly be gone, all the writing. So you can do that to the whole page, and then all the pages are reusable. So that is all that comes in the digital notebook.
These girls, I felt, did such a great job at it. And I love the fact that they were doing it on their own without any guidance from me, which shows that they had used this notebook quite a bit. And of course, the last one is a little clip of them actually uploading and using the app after they had done their work.
This is how to upload a photo to your Google Classroom assignment from CamScanner. So you have to download the app CamScanner, and you hit the little camera down here. Then you go take a picture of your assignment, and you gotta go over it and make sure you get the whole notebook. Then if it's got these little dots around this, then it's right. And then you hit the arrow, and then it'll make it brighter. And then you can choose whichever one you want. I always have magic color because it makes it bright. And then you share, and share PDF, and then share, and then you want to hit more, and then you're going to want to hit Google Drive, and then choose an account, and then you hit upload. And it doesn't automatically upload to your assignment, but it will be in your Google Drive, and you can upload from there. So that's how to upload a photo to your Google Classroom assignment from CamScanner.
Okay, so as you can see, it's not a difficult. It's not difficult at all when you're using it. These girls, I'll never forget the very first time. The little girl with the red hair, her name is Finley, and the very first time that she used it, she went home, and her mom was saying that when she got home, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, you've got to see how this works." And so it's been an incredible journey. It's been a journey that has been not just beneficial to me, but it's also been beneficial to my students. So what has happened with this is, even in a world that's been crazy with COVID, um, these kids were able to reach their potential to a point. It was such a fear for teachers that these kids would not reach that. And as a teacher, it's hard to think that they won't. So, with the help of the digital notebooks, we have achieved motivation. We've achieved a their gap in their learning has really gone down. The one thing that I loved about it was on the 30th of March, actually, um, I had 37 out of 47 kids. That's 80.4% of my students were working at a sixth grade level or higher. Now, at the beginning of this, they were not even close to that. And when it actually happened, I was very pleased that it had. So, once again, I want to thank KVEC for this opportunity into turning my math classroom into a paperless journey.